Hello. Hello, beautiful spirits. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to Sunday brunch. Welcome to Sunday brunch. How is everybody? Y'all good? Am I supposed to come back here? Oh, what a world. What a world. What a world. How is everybody holding up? Yeah? You having a good time? We'll get to that. Ooh, that smells so good. I put some incense in today that yeah. Just take a minute while everyone shuffles in, shuffling off to Buffalo, as they say. Yes. Okay, let's see if I got this. I'm just waiting for everyone to join us. Uh, please shuffle in. This is our brunch. Welcome. Please join your table to ours as we spread this brunch table to the four corners of the earth. I am the hostess for this brunch, and we welcome you. So, everyone, shuffle along now. Come along now, children. Yes. Don't be strangers. Be sure and say hello. If you're just joining us, we welcome you to the brunch table. Be sure and introduce yourself to everybody who is here today. Tell us who you are during this brunch. Be sure and let us know where you're coming from. And also, because I'm always curious about what other people eat for brunch. You know, you go to brunch with people and they say, I'm going to have the bagel and lox. Really? Okay. What are you going to have, honey? Well, I'm going to have the lox omelet. Oh, that sounds good too. Well, I think I'm going to have the poached eggs and lox, right? And then the vegans got their scrambled tofu. And then we all sit together and we go, oh, how does yours taste? Oh, how does yours taste? How does yours really? You like that? Oh, tofu with steamed spinach. That actually looks pretty good. I'm going to have to try that. So there you go. That is what we do at brunch time. Yes, it's a load of fun. It's a load of fun and rollicking good times. Yes. All right. As we get in here, I'd like everybody to say hello. And I would like to introduce Saving Harbin Dogs. Saving Harbin Dogs. If you'd like to find out more about Saving Harbin Dogs, you can visit their Facebook pages called Saving Harbin Dogs. And this is an organization that Jeremy, one of the people who hangs out with us here, was kind enough to ask me if I would choose this as our charity. And I thought that sounds like an amazing charity. It's a 501. And they're saving victims of China's dog meat trade. And when we talk about China's dog meat trade, we're not talking about special breeds. Any dog off the street can get eaten. And there's no excuse for this. There are other things to eat that are less intelligent. Sorry to the chickens and turkeys out there if you do eat them, but there's a huge difference in consciousness between a turkey and a dog, which can sometimes develop the intelligence of a 5-year-old. Also, they love with their whole heart. Who the hell wants to eat something like that? Some of them are in very bad shape. um, when they come in, and they're given forever homes. Clearly, they don't trust people because they almost wound up on the dinner table. Um, they're also looking for volunteers. If you are going to be going to China, you can contact them and tell you what dates you're going to be in China. And they're looking for people who can help. Oh, wow, that one's gorgeous. Help get these dogs to safety. So, here is 11 dogs that were saved from a meat truck. And what they do is they just buy the dogs instead of butchering them. What's sad is, say the person has 20 dogs and you only have enough money for 10. 10 are going to get eaten, right? So you try and save as much as you can. Right now, they're trying to save $10,000 just to be able to feed the dogs and save the ones they already have. They really need help right now financially. Also to pay for the medical cost, because many of these dogs, you can see here, getting medical attention, they haven't been treated very well. Many died, just during the process. Look at this poor one. She was actually pregnant. Oh my God. They were going to eat one of the queen's corgis. Good God, what the heck? Oh my goodness. Well, we don't want to be eating the queen's corgis. Yes, so that is the Facebook pages. Please check it out. Harbin's dogs. Yeah, so I also want to show you another link. If you want to donate today, probably the best way would be through PayPal. PayPal is a great way. You can just send them, whatever you can afford. And they would very much be grateful. And so Saving Harbin Dogs, Inc. And then you can just, if you want to do one time, monthly, yearly, depending upon your commitment to Harbin Dogs, you can do a direct link this way. And that's a lovely way to support. I've also put a link there with the PayPal for everybody. SavingHarbinDogs.com. All right, so that is another link we have. We'll be throughout today's broadcast giving people information. And when you do make a donation to Saving Harbin Dogs, be sure and let us know so we can snap our fingers in support. It's a lot less annoying than slapping our hands, right? So if you say, I donated $10, we all want to celebrate you for helping to save a life, right? So let us know if you do make a donation. Here is their website, savingharbindogs.net. Savingharbindogs.net. Very easy to donate this way as well. Oh my God, a golden retriever. See, they'll just eat. It's any dog, any breed. That's a papillon. And what they do is, like they said, they just buy it off the meat truck. So again, if you could make a donation, if you find anything about this brunch enjoyable, if you're not a churchgoer, but you'd like to give something on a Sunday, wouldn't it be lovely? Oh, look at that one. What a precious child. What a baby. Oh, Jasper. Pugs? They were eating pug. Oh my God. Yeah, I've heard from people that go in and do the rescues that it's not a special dog. They thought that they were going to see special dogs, and instead, oh no, do not donate with me. Do not give me any money today. If the money comes to me, it's gonna be. I would no. give directly to their PayPal or give directly at their website. That is the best way to donate. Yeah. I think like PayPal is a really easy way to do it, you know. Trying to figure out how to do this. Oh, that's nice. That looks pretty good. Ugh. I wonder what this is like. Okay. Interesting. I'm just learning. Okay, and then there's this where I disappear. This is where I'm small, bigger, biggest. All right, how is everybody doing? Good morning from your favorite whimsical one. It is great to be here. It is Sunday. I am in beautiful downtown Portland, Oregon. I am having my ice water and my Pete's coffee. I am on my second cup, so I'm buzzing a little bit here. Absolutely love it. Absolutely loving it. Yeah, if you make a donation, we want to give you a shout out. Jeremy Rodney says that they need a bare minimum of $3,000 to just cover the food for the current 180 dogs they have rescued. So give it up to the amazing Jeremy Rodney. Jeremy Rodney. Much applause for saving so many dogs. It is his mission in life to save animals. He's been called to be an animal rescuer, and he was kind enough to introduce us to this most noble charity. So for that, we want to give a special shout out to the amazing Jeremy. Thank you so much for that. All right, so throughout the broadcast, we'll be doing shout outs and gratitude for your fundraisers. $17 feeds a dog for a month. All right, good to know. $17. You know, that's basically like adopting one of these dogs is $17. Do not, I repeat, do not give the money to me. The money should go to the links that are being provided. And with permission from the moderators, if we could keep showing the PayPal and the other links for people, I would very much appreciate your help today. Okay, so let's say hi to everybody. We've got the amazing Joel Tilson. Joel, as many of you know, helps out here. He is our official floor director, making sure that everything is running smoothly. Last night, I tried to do a remote on the big, beautiful bill, and my feeling was, as I went into this, that the Republicans would be sealing their fate, and I felt like their constituents were saying, if you pass this thing, you will never win another election. So the pushback is real, and I felt like the people who were the most afraid were Congress, and the reason that I think Congress is afraid is because every 2 years they're up, they're facing getting fired. And so it's a real concern for Congress if we Congress is more vulnerable than the Senate. The Senate, well, I just got hired or I just got renewed. My job is good for the next 6 years. I can do whatever the hell I want. There's a little bit more of a confidence, I feel, in the Senate. And the other thing we have to realize is that the reason that America is broke is it started slowly going broke. If Carter had been reelected and we had stayed with social programs, basic social programs and education, etc., crime would have been greatly diminished, because for every time you open up a school and create affordable housings, it's one less prison. So our treatment of the poor and the vulnerable has not been rational, right? We know that education, we know that early assistance, the Boys and Girls Clubs of America have saved many, many lives, hundreds of thousands of lives, in fact, and that these programs are vital if we want to clean up our streets. Just like making abortion affordable to people that cannot have a child, right? We know that when abortion rights are taken away, women are more likely to die in childbirth. They often can't afford medical care. And when the child is born disabled, they don't have the medical resources to care for a severely disabled child. We also see more children being born to alcoholic parents and drug addicted parents, which leads to a higher risk for crime, juvenile offenses, etc. So when we see women having their reproductive rights taken away, we can assume 15 to 20 years later, we're going to see more derelicts, more crime on the streets, etc. Because children who grow up in that kind of dysfunction often wind up in very bad situations. And we also know from the economic cuts that are taking place that Republicans have created that there will be less and less safety nets for the children. So many of these children, particularly the severely disabled, will wind up in institutions that are poorly monitored. They'll receive neglect. They'll be bounced around from foster home and institution, and then they are aged out of the system at 18, where they wind up on the streets involved in drugs, drug dealing, prostitution. Human trafficking is very common with foster kids. Thousands of foster kids go missing every year into the human trafficking. They just did a raid in Florida. So it's a very schizophrenic way of looking at women's rights, reproductive rights, etc. And we can assume that crime is going to explode over the next 15 years, because in those states that do not give women a choice, because these policies will lead to an increase in crime. Just like we know when you cut education, we're going to see an increase in crime. So I see them fighting in Congress, and I see people afraid for this bill. I'm very worried that Trump's intimidating anybody and everybody could be pressure to pass the bill. Did they pass the bill in the Senate? Is that correct? What happened in the Senate? Let's see if CNN, I know that they were debating it. Is that correct? The Senate version of the president's agenda would leave nearly 12 million more people without health insurance. Yeah, so again, conservatives cutting social programs because they did not want to pay taxes, hiding their money in foreign investments. All of these things have led to our current situation. They want to meet Trump's deadline. He wants the big, beautiful bill passed on July 4th, and it would add $2.4 trillion to the existing deficit. And this is not just CNN. I know he doesn't like CNN because they expose him, but I wanted to say that it's not just CNN that's reporting that. It's not a CNN thing, is what I'm trying to say. This has been analyzed. $2.4 trillion deficit is to be expected, according to the CBO. So the main reason the Senate version is costlier is because it contains bigger tax cuts, while shrinking some of the spending cuts and revenue raisers So they don't want to pay their taxes, right? They don't want to pay their taxes. Yeah, so you have people like Tom Tillis, who's rejected the bill. And it goes back to this whole idea of not what is good for the American people, but what is good for my pocketbook. What is good for, I want to keep my job. And that should not be being a career politician. What the hell is that? What happened to Farmer John, right? I want to keep my job. I want to keep these benefits. I want to protect my wealth from taxes. So you have people like Tom Tillis that are not seeking reelection. That, oh well, I want to retire, so I'll go ahead and vote my conscience. No, vote your conscience, because that, and do what's best for the American people, regardless of whether or not you lose your job. And that kind of integrity we're just not seeing uh, in in politics right now. And I think the reason why is because politics is not attracting good people. In many times it's attracting people that are on power trips. Crockett's good, right? But for them, we have some good people coming in. Cory Booker is a very good person, very ethical, vegan. But we also have a lot of corruption, which is unfortunate. Okay, that's true. As Joel had said, that Senator Tillis is not going to be running again. Hello to Renee Arment. And we'll start blitzing after we do the Paz prayer and give people a general reading. If you could like and subscribe the stream, we'd be eternally grateful. Again, we are raising money for Harbin dogs. If you do make a donation, please let us know so we can give you a shout out and thank you for being a good person and saving a life. Much appreciated. All right, let's go ahead. We will do the Paz prayer. If you need to receive a healing at this time, or if somebody you know and love needs to receive a healing at this time, be sure and give us their name or your name, and we will include them in today's prayers. On that note, I'm going to take a glass of water. Cheers. Also, while we're doing that, I want to make a special announcement that we have a new book of the month for Whimsy and Chuck's Book of the Month Club. Whimsy and Chuck's Book of the Month Club was started by Chuck and I over at Taco Tuesdays in order to promote books that we like. If you've written a book and you would like us to share it on Taco Tuesdays, you can send your book, care of Dr. Whimsy Anderson, to 1819 Southwest 5th Avenue, Portland, Oregon, Suite 116, zip code 97201. 1819 Southwest 5th Avenue, Suite 116, Portland, Oregon, 97201. We're looking for independent writers. We're trying to give them a platform. We look for books that are spiritual, uplifting, healing. They can be fiction and nonfiction. And this is our latest book. I'm very excited to introduce this one, which is written by Leza Lewitz. In Search of the Sun, One Woman's Quest to Find Family in Japan. It's a beautiful book. Of course, it's about my favorite part of the world, Japan. If I were younger, I would move to Japan and I would learn Japanese. Alas, I am not younger. Trying to learn languages at 62. Even my Hebrew still sucks. My Hebrew is terrible, and I'm an Israeli. I know. There's no excuse. Chanasera, there's no excuse. All right. Without further ado, let's come together. Let's do the Paz prayer and send you all a beautiful healing. Goodness knows you've earned it. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively we say, Amen. And for those of you today who are requesting a healing, we come together and we pray that you receive a perfect healing, both for yourself and for those you love. May you be healed in mind, body, and in spirit. And together we say, Amen, Amen, Amen. May all souls be healed. May all souls be healed. All right, let's do the collective reading. Thank you all for being here. This reading applies to you at the time you see the reading. This reading is a collective, so we attempt to tap into the superconscious, what we need to know at this time. Don't want to burn myself. It's like a smorgasbord, so if it doesn't speak to you, you can just pass it down the table until you find the message that applies to you at this time. Let's go ahead and give the collective to you and to the world. Thanks for being here. If you could like, share, and subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you find anything about today's stream enjoyable, please make a donation to Harbin dogs, to rescue dogs from the meat industry. We'd really appreciate it. Your reading for the week. Hard time for charities right now because people are very poor and there's only, the economy isn't that great. So we understand if people can't donate a lot, and yeah, it's tough times. Where you are at right now, this is a card that I've been getting a lot lately. I got it during the last couple readings, and then I broke into song. Oh, the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. So we have this beautiful optimism coming out, that the sun is coming out, and I see peacemakers. It's almost like Joe Biden kind of energy. I know that right now I guess he's getting chemo. He has, unfortunately, bone cancer, and he's under intense care, so he can't be with us right now, publicly. We just pray for Joe in our prayers, but the sun is coming out, and there's this beautiful healing energy coming out. The bridge over troubled water. It's another great song. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. Right? Those are two of the songs I think about. So we have this beautiful sun energy coming to you at this time, and we also have this beautiful empathy coming to you at this time. Allies and confidants and people that are here to assist you. So it's actually starting out. Remember, no matter how bad things get, salvation is coming. The positive is coming. The King of Cups is coming. Healing is coming to the situation. The emotional support system, right? The bridge over troubled water is the King of Cups. Love this card because she wrote it before the song was written, and you can see him nice and steady, those rocky waves, and he is just standing firm with his medicinal cup. He's got one toe tipping into the water, and the other is grounded. So one grounds, so he is able to be the lightning rod of the emotional upset in our lives. Love this picture, and I love that sun coming out. Also makes me think of Kate Bush. The sun's coming out. You know that song? You want to hurt me. You want to feel how it feels. That's definitely the song right now. Okay, where we are at right now is Two of Swords. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. The heavy swords of denial. So maybe we're feeling overwhelmed because the news is bad. The news about the wars, the news about the economy. There's a lot going on, and we could be feeling as if we need a break. It's almost as if we are overwhelmed by the things of this world, right? The things of this world can bring us down, and we get overwhelmed. The Two of Swords, I often think, happens when people just are done. I can't listen anymore. I can't deal with this anymore. And they just feel that they need a break. I'm going to move my coffee so that you guys can see these cards. You guys feeling a little bit like you just can't watch the news anymore? It's like it goes from bad to horrible to worse. Particularly if you listen to Conley, the ex of, I can't remember her name, but Conley of the Lincoln Project, Conley. He basically, we are fighting somebody who is stark raving mad, who thinks that maybe the moon landing didn't happen. I mean, see, so what Conley was saying, George Conley was saying is that his insanity has become normalized, and that's the thing that's so terrifying about it. But we have this Two of Swords energy here, and then Six of Wands. It could be that right now you're feeling overwhelmed by your life. Focus on the things in life we can control. I always tell people when I'm stressed out and freaked out and I feel like I'm losing control, I start cleaning my house and listening to audibles or something like that. But we're entering into a time of success. The cards are quite positive, and they speak about us entering a time I think that we're going to get to peace within 6 months. I think that Trump is going to leave. I think that Trump is having health challenges. And I think that J.D. Vance will have to stay. I know that's not what people want, but I think he's going to make the presidency. But I also think he's going to be heavily controlled for a number of reasons. And one of the reasons why we control J.D. Vance and we're not able to control Trump is because I always get the impression that J.D. Vance doesn't want to be there. He also doesn't side with Trump on many issues. The other reason why he probably won't win is because he doesn't have MAGA behind him. Remember, they're dissolving MAGA. And the other thing I wanted to add is that the Proud Boys are not off the hook. Just because they got released from federal prison doesn't mean they can't be charged and sent to state prisons. They can also face, for the rest of their life, they're going to be subjected to civil lawsuits. So they will never be free from this thing. They will never be free. So we see the people, the world coming into the sun. We see the Six of Wands, which is victory. I read wands literally as months. I read time in the wands. Most readers do because wands are associated with space and time. And that is why we'll often see wands fighting for territory. We always think of space and time with the wands. The archangel that oversees space and time, the pilgrim, is Archangel Yoriel, which is similar to the Hebrew word Ariel, which is the lion. It paves the way. It's the king of the forest, right? Always about taking space. I wanted to announce that the first class in Introduction to the Mystical Tarot will be tonight at 5 p.m. It is a 12-week course. For those people who are members of the Elders and Empaths level, we get together for about an hour, hour and a half, and we're going to be exploring the history of the mystical tarot and the Torah, which means to bear the light in Hebrew, ta, or to bear the light. And we're going to be talking about the symbolisms and how they align with early understanding of medicine, spirituality. Tarot was used by people who could not read or write, and so instead they studied the Torah, the light, with pictures. The other great reason that the Torah and that the Tarot was passed in pictures instead of a book was because on the Silk Road, not everyone spoke the same languages. Somebody might speak Hebrew, another person Arabic, another person Mandarin, Cantonese. So how did they communicate? They communicated with universal symbols, symbols that they all understood or that they shared these ideas. And so that is why pictures were used by doctors. You know, you go to a doctor's office and they show you the acupuncture points, or this is the ancient way of teaching, because we cannot assume that our patient speaks the same language as us. So this was the origins of these pictures, the Torah, the light bearing, and the tarot. So all of that starts 5 p.m. tonight here, 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys voted on the time, and that's for the Elders and the Empaths. Look forward to seeing you. Rest assured, we are headed towards the good. We are headed towards emotional support. You're headed towards emotional support. You don't have to bear this all on your own. Look for comfort and allies where you can. This too shall pass. I see the courts coming in over us. I see justice coming. We, the people, will take back our country. There are laws. Remember what happened when Herbert Hoover, when the damage that Herbert Hoover did in the Great Depression, right? What's that song? What was the song from All in the Family? We could use a man like Herbert Hoover again, right? Didn't need no welfare state. Everybody pulled his weight. G.R.O. LaSalle ran great. LaSalle was always breaking down. Like it was a disaster. The whole song is a joke, right? But it was about the horrible things that happened. People were literally starving and couldn't afford bread. There were bread lines during Herbert Hoover. But it opened the way for what would become the great social reform movement that saved America and gave birth to some of the greatest economies. So the social programs that were put in by FDR, education for the men coming back, loans to start businesses like Kentucky Fried Chicken and McDonald's. So it was mass explosions of success by the 50s, and everybody was sitting pretty, and it was one salary homes. A man could go to work and his wife could stay home and raise the kids, right? So for every action, there's a reaction of equal or greater strength, right? For every aggressive action, you're going to get an equal action or greater. Even if the person doesn't punch you back at that time, they're going to go home and plot how to destroy you, right? This is how aggression works. And we see justice moving into the fourth house for the world and for you. Oh, welcome, Edita Missiano, for being a member. Glad to have you here. Justice is coming for you. Compassion is coming for you. Support is coming for you. And I'll tell you, by this summer, this is going to be a different America in good ways. What we are sitting right now in is wealth. You can see here also something I want to make people aware of is the Ace of Pentacles. It is associated with the earth sign. And Archangel Gabriel governs the things of this earth. Uh, he helps channel writing, business, finance. He's the great accountant in the sky, Gabriel, right? He's the one that Gabriel helps us give an account and a reckoning for our lives. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he channeled Gabriel, right? Unfortunately, he lived in the 6th century, so people misunderstood. No, we don't bury women alive. Stop doing that. We don't. They used to just bury female babies alive at that time. So he had a lot of work to do. So he was actually a great reformer in his lifetime. But the point is that he was channeling that energy that we associate with Gabriel, the Pentacles. Wealth is wealth and justice. There has been so much economic injustice in the United States that it doesn't surprise me that justice stands in the 4th house and what we sit in is Ace of Pentacles. But we have to be careful because this was also the case in Nazi Germany, the National Socialist Workers' Party, right? So that the fascist took over the socialist movement, and then instead of being pure democratic socialism, it became a cult of you're persecuted and I'm persecuted and it's the fault of the Jews, it's the fault of the blacks, it's the fault of the Hispanic immigrants, right? So we have to be very, very careful because how terrorists are made, how psychopathy is encouraged is when we try to scapegoat, right? So we want to be very careful that during these times of economic uncertainty, socialism doesn't get hijacked by fascists, right? That's always the thing. Oh, you're a victim, then it's the fault of, we always want to be educated. Let's look at the facts. So the facts are we're broke because people in positions of power took over our government and they don't want to pay taxes. That's what the facts show. The Panama Papers, right? We are going to have to use old-fashioned community efforts on a local level and be, the more educated our activists, the more of us getting those law degrees. We're moving in a very bad direction. And the big beautiful bill puts us further in the hole because they don't want to, because the senators made sure that they didn't have to pay their taxes. So justice and law. The other thing in Tarot is we look at action, reaction. So what we sit in, economic issues, what is as a reaction, justice. It sits in the 4th house, which is over us. It crowns our head. We want justice. What we're coming out of, they say the crash has already happened. We already had trade wars, right? We already had embargoes. We already had blockage of trade. We're already being hit by the Houthi on the Straits and coming out of the Suez Canal. We're already experiencing this. We've already had the stock market crashing, right? So the horror happened slowly. We were frogs boiling, right? So we were like frogs boiling. They are saying the worst has already happened, and we're entering into the time of 10 of Cups, the happy family. 2 of Swords has a positive aspect. Every card has a positive aspect, right? So 2 of Swords is when you carry something so heavy. Oh, I can't. Those heavy swords, right? It's also associated with the elements of metal, right? Lungs and large intestine, which is associated with grief, right? And the immune system, right? Wei Qi, right? So what happens when you're put upon? You protect yourself, against the wind, the cold, So 2 of Swords is a defensive stance, but it has this heavy burden, like, oh my God, these swords are so heavy. I just wish I could drop them, right? Drop this defensiveness, drop this attack that I'm experiencing. To defend yourself against predators is wise, whether it's a virus or it's a person, right? So, but So the positive aspect is that you're defending and protecting yourself, but it's exhausting, isn't it? It's exhausting to be in a state of the Two of Swords. Get back to the values of the Waltons. That's what they're saying. Well, I already have. Good. That if you're already taking care of yourself, if you're already living frugally, if you're already doing everything you can to live a decent life, begin helping in your community, because there's a real call here to take care of the family, to take care of local politics, that it begins at a local level. We want to think about state races, and we want to talk to people with respect, and we want to get our community. They're saying start at a community level, and that includes community kitchens, community housing, community rehab for people struggling with opioid addiction that was created by the healthcare industry, by the way. You know, it's amazing how many times, 15 years ago when I was having dental work and all that other stuff, how many times I was given a prescription for opioids. I didn't take it because I'm a naturopathic doctor. I'm like, I don't feel, this is spooky to me, right? Like I had to have 4 wisdom teeth pulled out, and you can't sleep, and you can take Tylenol, but not Advil because it makes you bleed. And this was 2.5 years ago, and they prescribed opioids. So being a naturopath, I did my research, and they said, and I was like, I couldn't sleep. I was miserable. And I got THC raspberry syrup, 1,000 milligrams prescription. It was prescription. And I was stoned for 4 days. I was like dripping raspberry. You can't suck because it'll tear your stitches, right? So you can't suck. And so I called my doctor. I called my dentist. I'm like, I'm not going to do opioids. He's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. So I was doing research. Oh, cannabis will make me sleep. So I was stoned for 4 days. But after that, you just threw the rest in the trash. I should have given it to somebody who liked that sort of thing. But the point is it wasn't addictive, and I was able to get through it without moving to something like an opioid, which is highly addictive. They're just handing it out like it's candy. I mean, these are dangerous drugs and then people like it, and then they've got to have the opioids. The doctor won't prescribe anymore, so they start self-medicating, right? They now have marijuana clinics for drug addicts, so they can go and get stoned to your heart content, and then, because it's easier to get off marijuana, it's not truly addictive. It's habitual, but it doesn't, it's just a lot easier to get off of. Get stoned, I'll get over your heroin, and then they come into therapy, and then they get them off the marijuana, or not. If you have CPTSD, they might recommend they stay on it. The point is that we live in a society where we're being pushed to self-destructive acts. And usually those self-destructive acts are profit motivated, like the people who created the opioid crisis and made millions and billions, killing and destroying Americans. And it's pretty quite horrible. So you have this kind of juxtaposition here between justice and the money. We have already crashed as a nation when you see the fentanyl addictions, the poverty, the homelessness, the rents through the roof. I just see justice coming for the American family, and justice coming for we've had enough. We must work at a local level to preserve everything from our community colleges. They have robbed us blind. They stole our tax money. They hid their portion. They already are getting a ton of tax breaks, and then they hid money in foreign accounts, right? Also, they hid it in Bitcoin. And then what did they do with the Bitcoin? They started engaging in illegal activities, right? Smuggling drugs and people, the old triangular route, right? We're talking about triangular trade. Was triangular trade ended? No, the descendants of the slaveholders. This is something we have to understand. The descendants of slaveholders still believe in slavery. Slavery is natural. It's part of this world. And you can't, my family's been in the slave trade for 400 years. You ain't going to stop slave trade. Can't do it here in the United States. So what are they doing? Instead of sugar, alcohol, and slaves, it's human trafficking, drugs, and everything gets laundered into legitimate businesses. So you have slaves on the islands, right? So you have the Cayman Islands and all the Virgin Islands, where all these yachts from wealthy people all over the world, and they keep their slaves on those islands in villages that are slave villages. And they go and they visit their slave, rape their slave, do whatever they like. They even have auction blocks selling slaves on mega yachts. Yeah, international waters, trade, abuse, etc. So it is alive and well. And so what happens is that many of the people in positions of power are part of child human trafficking. The slave trade is alive and well. It's amazing to talk to those people. I've done remote views where I've talked to them. And then I'm going to raise my nephew in the tradition. So then they've got this world, right? They've got this world. Take your nephew to the Cayman Islands for family business. And what's he doing? He's picking slaves. He's selling slaves. He's bartering slaves. They didn't stop. They simply just changed addresses. It's pretty horrifying. So we have the time of the Empress. I know, pretty horrible, right? So I always go to horrible places as a remote viewer. When I saw that, I'm like, slavery didn't end? Oh my God, it's the descendants. They're still doing it. There's still corruption. They're still taking slaves from Jamaica. They're still taking slaves from the islands. Nothing has changed. Slaves from the foster care system. How many? 7,000 missing in Florida alone? Why? Because Florida's in the water, so they traffic them along the East Coast. The time of the Empress is the time of female power, and it stands in the 7th house. We are so wealthy, and this is what Gaia, stop trying to rape Mother Earth. Love her, and she will give you everything you need. It's like the way we treat cows. They want to give the milk. You don't have to be abusive. I'm a mother cow. You can take the milk, but do you have to be so cruel and kick me in the face? Take my child away? Is this really necessary? You know, Ayurvedic dairies, they love the mother, they respect her, they know that the mother cow wants to give, she wants to serve the ashram. You don't have to be a dick, right? So the time of the Empress is to have a relationship with Gaia, have a relationship with the earth, love the earth. She wants to love you back. But we must seek justice for economic corruption. Oh, why do I think it's economic? You can see the crash here with the Ace of Pentacles and justice standing in the 4th house. And you can see the 2 of Swords in the 1st house, which would indicate a closing in or defensive stance. We've talked about swords being associated also with the immune system. 6 of Wands is the crossing. We've talked about within 6 months. Within 6 months, we see massive change. And also we're looking at this line here where justice is coming in with 10 of Cups in the future, action, reaction. Again, for every aggressive act, there's going to be a reaction of equal or greater strength. And we see from the Tower comes the 10 of Cups with justice emerging in the future. We want justice for ourselves. Where we are at right now, we're in a state of poverty. The opposition, yes. Yeah. The opposition, poverty. Our fears are poverty. So 5 of Pentacles is known as a poverty card. It's also a spiritual exile card. It could indicate that our opposition is exiled from the church or has been pushed out of the church or the spiritual path. The light is on, but nobody's home, right? The man who drags you down. I often get this when a woman is feeling put upon or drained, or a person is being drained by their partner. And she's barefoot, because she can't afford shoes. She bought his crutches. And he's, hey, you got an extra 5 cents. And she's trying to knock on the church. And she might also be trying to get away from this bozo, right? But it's a poverty card and it's a spiritual exile card. Hopes and fears. We don't know what to do, Whimsy. We don't know what to do. You start with the most basic. You know, we would all be a lot happier if we lived like Carmelite nuns, to be honest with you. Most of us don't need a lot to be happy. We need good, proper, clean food and a life of meaning. And we need to love. It's okay if you don't want to love a person. I'm fed up with people. People have hurt me. Okay, I get it. So go love a puppy. Go save a dog that's going to be eaten in China. There are so many other ways that we can love and experience love that are safe. Because there's this feeling of Seven of Cups is emotional. The realm of emotion is associated with cups, water. We can never tell time with water. But Seven of Cups is about, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to choose. The final outcome for you at this time is judgment. So understand that there is a recording and there is an account and reckoning for every choice we make in life. You will be held accountable. I will be held accountable. The day will come when the people who do wrong will be held accountable. There is a judgment coming. Which side are you on? Did you fight the good fight? Did you feed the hungry? Did you help people in rehab? Did you make sure that there was affordable housing in your neighborhood? Did you comfort the sick and the dying? Did you rescue an animal? Did you love a friend and comfort a friend when they were in need? Did you repent or turn away from previous abuse or bad behavior? Did you take responsibility for your behavior? Did you look at your own shadow and say, I screwed up? The clarification message for Gaia: smoother waters will lay ahead. There's a message from Earth, from the energy of Gaia. She says, I have tremendous ability to repair myself. I have a tremendous ability to repair myself, but we all have to get on the same page. This is a conscious being, Gaia. It communicates with us. We are rooted in her, right? We are a combination. In Chinese medicine, we talk about Earth's force and Heaven's force coming together, right? In Qigong, right? We talk about this a lot in HCRV class. So having a communication with this conscious being that we are planted in this earth and are a part of, and this assurance that she can recover, that she has miraculous ability to heal, and that she will heal, but we must be her Gaia's immune system. We must be her immune system. We must be the protectors. She can recover. Six of Swords. And she can recover faster than we know. Like now we know how to gather the plastic from the oceans. We just have to care enough to do it. We know how to decompose plastic, right? We know how to remove CO2 from the air. We know how to save the coral reefs. We just have to care. The opposition, poverty and foolish behavior. There was foolish behavior that the other may have engaged in foolish behavior, which placed them in exile. You know, it's all about money. It's all about power. You're not getting it. You're just not getting it. It's not about who you can screw over. It's not about who you can use. Look at who the American president is. How did we get like this? A lot of it happened during Reagan, the yuppies. Everybody gets a BMW, right? The hope and fear at this time that I don't even know who to trust. Is everyone crazy? Ten of Swords, fear of betrayal. You can see that tower in the past, and the Ten of Swords, just exhausted from the struggle. And the final outcome for you, remember, wands are territory, and space and time. Queen of Wands emerges. Oshun, the goddess of strength, boundaries. Don't do me wrong. You will begin to establish boundaries for yourself in your home, in your life, with your friends, and you will begin to rebuild your world, heal your world, and let that be a light to others. As we heal ourselves, we heal a part of the universe. You are part of the universe. And as you heal yourself and connect to the greater consciousness of the world, you are healing the world. You must start with a clear understanding of your ethics. Remember, she stands with justice, and it's my space, right? My space, boom, boom, my space. And so justice is ours. We must stand in strength and stand with justice. Justice and judgment are coming in the future. And the reason it's inevitable is because it is the nature of karma. For every aggressive act, there's going to be a reaction of equal or greater strength. Humanity will not tolerate this. It had to do with economic exploitation. The tower and the issue was money. It's not about money. That's the other thing that our higher selves are saying. It's about a desire to exploit. It's the refusal to see us all as fellow human beings, but simply as serfs to be used. And there's a lot of expose coming because Sun is about expose. The bomb is about to drop. Everything on the human trafficking that's going on in these islands, the Caymans and everywhere else, where they're wheeling and dealing slaves, the same damn people, the same families that got rich using slaves 200 years ago are still in business. It's all coming out. Epstein's Island. You know, it's interesting to remote view them because they believe it's the will of God and that slavery has always been here. It's from the Bible. My family's been involved with slavery for 500 years. I'm raising my nephew. He's going to be part of the business, you know, buying and selling. We're making sex videos. We're doing this. We're doing that. Nobody wants these children. We got them from foster care. Cheap. They're cheap. Free meat, right? So the takeaway here, strange rituals on Epstein's Island, right? With all these rich people. Oh, it's like a smorgasbord of people to abuse, right? Vulnerable children on the streets, or you can get them through the foster care system, right? They're now coming out with exposés on people being bribed in the foster care system to hand children over. This is what happened with Sean Diddy Combs, right? All these foster kids. Oh, isn't it nice? He's taking these children off the street, all of his foster kids. And now the children are saying that they were ordered to have sex with celebrities, right? And then they filmed it all, and now those celebrities are blackmailed. It's sick. So justice is coming. Start in your local area. The heavy burden that you feel of having to block it all out is understandable. The world can be a beautiful place. Gaia is stronger than we know. We will come out of this because for every action, there's a reaction. And the world will not tolerate another Hitler. Yeah, the sun is coming out. Huge expose coming out on Trump. I think it's his link to human traffickers, clearly. I'd like to see more of an expose done on Trump Modeling Agency, which seems to be part of this trafficking that was happening along the East Coast. Some of them coming from the island, some of them coming from foster care in the streets. Epstein and him moving girls back and forth, moving children and adults that had been trafficked. Yeah, we live in a sick world. We live in a very sick world. Okay, so on that well, justice is coming, so it's a positive, and justice is coming for you. You will see justice in your lifetime. Know that you stand with the Queen of Wands. That's not working for me, Pumpkin. You're going to have to change it up. No, I will not back down. I'm not going to back down. What you going to do about it, huh? You're going to beat up a 62-year-old woman? Is that what you're going to do? Huh? We have to be powerful right now, and we have to establish our territory. All right. Again, just to let everybody know, we are raising funds. If anything in the remote view and reading so far have been helpful to you, if they've given you strength or direction, please consider making a donation to Harbin Dogs. Harbin Dogs is saving dogs rescued from the China's meat industry. To find out more, you can check out their website and make a donation. When you do make a donation, please let us know so that we can give you a shout out. You can also donate through by connecting with them through Facebook, and also donate through their PayPal. For those people who'd like to find out more about Harbin's donation and Facebook, we'll go ahead and do that here. This is the Facebook. Aww. These are all the dogs that would, how could anybody eat a corgi? That blows my mind that these dogs, look at that, a standard poodle. I know people that have worked, oh my God, this poor doggy died. Many of them are so sick they don't make it in transit. Oh my God. What's wrong with us as human beings? Standard poodle? I mean, people who have done the rescue say they cannot believe, they've also done it in Korea, that they can't believe that the dogs they're rescuing are just regular dogs. They thought it was some special breed. So this is the website, the Facebook page, if you'd like to, Saving Harbin Dogs. So again, we want to show that for those of you who want to get involved. And of course, we also want to link to their donation page. We've done a link for this. PayPal's Harbin Dogs, Saving Harbin Dogs, Inc. It is a 501. And let us know when you do make a donation so we can give you a shout out. Thank you so very much. So how you doing, everybody? You having fun? Okay, let's do some blitzes. When I get the order to blitz, blitz, blitz away, I will blitz, blitz, blitz away. While I wait to get the order to blitz, blitz, blitz away, I'm going to have some water. How y'all doing today? Shalom. We're staying late today. If you have to go, I totally get it. We're going to do, because we're doing a major fundraiser. L'chaim, l'chaim. Boy, were those cards for the community positive. It's up to us. There are more of us than that. I am done with it. I want the exposés on the slave trade. They did an expose on the Virgin Islands. They rescued a bunch of people. I want these bastards exposed. I want them in prison. I want everything to come out. Every senator that went to one of those parties, every judge, every corrupt politician and businessman, I want them all exposed. And I want them, they have bankrupted us, they have raped us, they have exploited us, they have raped our children. And I think, now is the time. The sun is coming out. The next 6 months, we're seeing major exposés. These people are going, you will know them. You will know everyone on Epstein's list. They're all coming out. Expose them all. All right, we're going to blitz, blitz, blitz away. We got the order. First question, Joel Tilson asks, will gay rights be protected? Will gay rights be protected? And the first card is Ace of Swords. Yes, We will see gay rights protected. Ace of Swords in the 7th house. The opposition to gay rights. So there are people actually going in and trying to extract, just like they did Roe v. Wade. So we are up against, they've got academics on their side, right? The hope and fear is, again, poverty, exile from the church. Be a friend, be an ally. Be an ally to your friends in the LGBTQ plus community. They need as many allies as possible. They are under attack. Locked out of the church. Poor. Don't let your friends suffer. Fight for them. Fight for their rights. You're going to frickin', I don't give a damn how you feel about trans rights. This is a frickin' fellow human being. Do you understand? We have to fight for our friends. And the final outcome is the devil. You know what's interesting about these politicians that are attacking the LGBTQ community? They're often customers. They're often customers. The very people that are attacking the LGBTQ community are the people that are hiring trans prostitutes. They're always part of these exposés, whether it's, making a pass at another guy in a bathroom, right? They are addicted to the very thing that they're attacking. Ooh, we are coming in strong. We are carry the sword, and the King of Wands is ready for war. This is a war. This is a war. The opposition is stressed out. Make sure that nobody in Congress that votes for this bill gets elected. And we have to start on a local level. Go after your Congress and your local level, the constituents, etc. Educate people. The hope and fear, again, King of Swords would be Trump and his horrible bill. And then the final outcome over the devil, war. We fight the devil and we win. Expose. Evidently Elon's gotten off of drugs. He released his drug thing, whatever. So it's weird. He got off drugs and now he's starting to go back. It's like, whatever. Drugs are bad news. But now he's gone to war against Trump. Now if he could just atone for killing all those kids and do something, he's got a lot to atone for, let me tell you. But Knight of Wands is coming in, and that is on God. And King of Wands, he fights. He is Mars. He is the air. He's the Aries Leo. By the way, I'm an Aries with Leo rising. Red is my color, right? People are like, you look good in red. Yeah, I'm an Aries with Leo rising. Of course, I am fire, right? The sword and the King of Wands and the scholars are, and you have this poverty bill, this 2.5 trillion in tax cuts. The devil, we must fight. Knight of Wands charges. Be prepared to fight. Fight for that which is right. Well, we need more protest. Who here got to go to the king? You know what? We had a very nice King's March here in Portland. We had drummers. It wasn't violent. It was like, I don't know, but I've been told. Like people were doing like, I don't know what streets of heaven are paved with gold. Yeah, we had people that were like military that were giving us the military things. Am I right? All right, you're right. Getting us all motivated, and we had signs. We had people dressing up their dogs. What else did we have? Oh, we had drummers. It was like fun. Who here went to the King's Marches? All right. We always do the same march. We usually meet by the water. Okay, next question. Thank you, Joel. How much longer can Russia's military last in Ukraine? Not much. They just lost another. They lost all their helicopters yesterday. Their oil reserves have been blown up. Trump says he's going to take out Putin because it's not him. You guys know, we've talked about the 5 phases. Putin needs to go first before we take out Iran, but Iran's been softened. They're about to hit Iran again, but the main focus, the data always came back, take Putin out first. Right, Mr. Joel? Joel knew the data, didn't you, Joel? He's on it. I'll tell you, you can't argue with a supercomputer. I was shocked when I saw with the because I was like asking questions. I worked on it for 48 hours. I drove my friends. I didn't sleep. And then before I sent it to Joe Biden and the IDF, but I was like, are you guys getting the same results? Yeah. Ooh, August. Basically, Joel and the rest of the world, it's looking like they are hitting hard. They want it over this summer. They want Putin gone. Putin's running out of his reserves. Economics. You reap what you sow. It's also a karma card. What you reap what you sow. Hopes and fears. His biggest fear is that he will be arrested. He will be incarcerated. That he will be locked up. This is Putin's biggest fear. 9 of Wands. Anybody surprised? Anybody surprised that he's reaping what he sowed? These together are not auspicious. If there was an Ace of Pentacles here, I'd have a different attitude. But this is being locked up because you're reaping what you sow. This can be a strife card. It's also the month of August. Most readers read it as August because it is a wand. I don't know. What are you guys thinking? August, September time? Is that what this is looking like? I think so, yeah. Oh, the Constitution, the higher ethos wins. You know, they had a Constitution too. Gorbachev was talked about Archangel Gabriel, that he felt angels were with him when he wrote the Constitution. Yes, Natasha Kinski played Gabriel. She is standing there in the wings, Angels Over Berlin. What was the name of that movie? Where she is blessing. Gorbachev was in the movie, yeah. And he's writing the Constitution, and behind him are these angels, and you see Gabriel put her hands on him like this, and she looks very beautiful. It's Natasha Kinski, and she's doing this, and they used the real Gorbachev, and he's like writing the Constitution. This beautiful scene. The clarification here is poverty. Poverty and grief. So Putin has bankrupted. He's destroyed the whole area. New contract coming in with China. I see China. China has a vested interest in building the infrastructure because it's jobs for China. There's the war. We will attack Russia. America will likely march on Moscow. I'm not happy about this. No, I'm not. I'm very unhappy about this. They were, I feel like crying. They were our ally in the Second World War, and now we have to march all the way to frickin' Moscow. We're already there. They're bombing Moscow. It's just like, God, why did this have to happen? On God, charge. And the higher ethos, their frickin' Constitution. Oh my God, I'm so depressed. We must do everything in our power to fight against it, and I see us conquering. So, you know what? Pay your damn taxes. Joel said, Putin said today he's ready for peace talks with Ukraine. Yeah, well, he's always been ready so long as he doesn't have any money. No, you have to get the hell out. He wants to be paid. He wants his contracts back so he can attack again. Do not make a deal. Let me just show you guys. No. No. Let me show you what the computer said. I'm upset. Yes, I'm upset. We cannot make a deal with Russia. No deal with Putin. We can't. Oh, where is the dang? I'm sorry, guys. Give me a second to show you the data again. I'll open these up for you guys. Here it is. Here is the data I sent the IDF from the supercomputer. Don't make a deal. Phase 6. Or do not make a deal with Iran and Russia for normal relations in exchange for profits from the... No. Why does the computer repeatedly say negative, 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 negative? What was the computer saying to us when we collected the data? This was for my PhD, my second doctoral. What was the concern? And why is Putin the fourth phase? Phases 1, 2, and 3 are now public. Trump's adopted them, and we think we're going to get to ceasefire, and Hamas is going to leave in the rebuild. That's being discussed right now. So we know 1 through 3 is coming soon. What's phase 4? Putin is arrested or contained. What is Putin's fear? That he's going to be arrested and contained, because it's public information what the computer came up with. 5 is we will see the dismantling of Iranian leadership. Did the computer get it right? The question I asked the computer is to help me organize how we can see the least amount of people die, because we were 1 minute to midnight for World War III. And it took me 48 hours to organize it. And this is the results of the computer. Why is 6 so important? Why did the computer say no way, no how? Because the profits would be used to attack the West. They would rearm, reload. So we open up relations with Putin and Ali Khamenei, and what do? They use the money to build more weapons, and then they take us out. It just takes one nuclear weapon to take out the state of Israel. And that would also take out the Palestinians, by the way. It would kill everybody. So what do? What does the computer say we have to do? We have to contain and dismantle the problem. We have no choice. Does that make sense? So there is no deal to be had. There is no deal to be had according to the computer. What about this ongoing war that seems to be going on forever and ever in Gaza? What did the computer say about that? Do we keep killing Hamas and then they recruit more Hamas? Is that how it just goes on forever? What did the computer say? It said ceasefire and exit it said give phases 1, 2, and 3. Sent to Elon Musk before he went insane, sent to the IDF, and sent to the State Department, Joe Biden. So they had phases 1, 2, 3. Phase 1, get to ceasefire, agree that Hamas goes to an exit country to stop the cycle, and then you can begin the rebuild. And the results from the computer was then sent to Elon, the IDF, and Joe. So everybody's on the same page. So there's no deal. There's no deal that can be made. He needs to go. You would be contradicting the data, and you would be ensuring World War III, because they will rearm, because they're intent on destroying us. And the only thing they want to do is destroy the West. So there is no deal. Oh my God. Hi, Yvette. Good to see you here. Yes, it was fun. I liked it. It was exhausting but fun. Oh, hello, Best Predictions. My beloved Wendy, hello. Alex is in the house. Yes. Hi, CM. Sally from beautiful Ireland. We talked about that. California dreaming. Oh, Renee is having hot tea. Oh, my hair looks good. I just got out of the shower. Thank you. Also, shout out to the great Jeremy for picking a great charity. Alex is having bagels, cream cheese, and lox. Damn. Oh, and capers. Oh, my God, that's my favorite. Got to have some purple onion with that. Kelly is in Australia. Beautiful. And the amazing Joyce Petrus is here helping. Welcome, Ann Dillon, a loyal member. We are glad to have her here. She's out having Florentine. She's at a restaurant having Florentine Benedict. Oh, is that the one with spinach? Yeah, I like that one too. That's the vegetarian one with spinach. Right? Or I don't know. Or is that the one with lox? We are grateful to you, Jeremy. We are grateful to you. Thank you, Debbie. Debbie, future shaper, creative director, has built everything you see here. My channel was built by Debbie. So we want to give oh, you look so beautiful there, Debbie. My God. Isn't that a beautiful picture of her? Yeah, so special shout out if you need help developing your YouTube channels and you need a creative director. She's very affordable and very kind, and she will get you on your feet. Also, special shout out to Debbie for creating our fan pages over at Facebook. Remember that every time we do a Taco Tuesdays book club, we also give one lucky person a half-hour free reading with me. So think about joining the fan pages with Debbie Brady. Debbie Brady is also a filmmaker, and she writes films about justice work. And she can also show those links if you haven't seen her films. Thank you so much, Debbie. Much appreciation for all you do and all your service to the community. Okay. Sally is sending money to Ukraine. Oh, that's wonderful. Good for you. All right. Thank you, Crystal Blue, for donating to Harbin Dogs. We love you, Crystal Blue. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We don't believe him. They're still reading it out loud. Yes, because it's 7,000 pages. Reagan started this mess. Absolutely. Cory Booker. Yes, God bless Cory. He is a great man, Cory Booker. What a great president he would be. Oh, I want Cory Booker to be president. He's just a great man. He's a great, great man. Oh, yes, I know. Shivani Dumas, Sunday brunch table who each greet each other. Yes, that's right. Good to see you, my love. Always a pleasure. It hasn't passed yet. I'm seeing problems. I'm seeing civil war if it does. There's a procedural vote to advance it. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. I want them in prison for what they've done to this country. And I mean that. Diva 369. They're reading the entire bill. Yes. I love you, Cory. We believe in you, Cory. Oh my God. They're so sick. What they've done. They're just pedophiles and perverts and slave traders. That's why they want the Confederates to take over. Yes, please send me your book. If you're an author, I'd love to, Chuck and I would love to read it. Thank you, Debbie. If you want to get our book of the month, Chuck and Whimsy's book club, please check out this book. It's so good. It's written by Lisa Leawotes. It's all about, oh my God, I love Japan. You're going to fall in love with Japan when you read this book. Oh, good. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Read the entire thing and then let the entire world know just how frickin' horrible it is. Joel Tilson, I learned bits and pieces of my late wife's languages in the Tagalog. Was it Tagalog or another dialect? Oh, wow. Pope Leo, yes, we have a rise in people joining the church again because of the amazing Pope Leo. Yes, he is making it cool again to be Catholic. Yes, focusing on the poor. He's from, where is he from? Ohio or where is he from? He's from somewhere in the United States. Demented news. Oh, that's so true. That's true. Alligator Alcatraz will open but close later because of operating costs. Let's take a look at Alligator Alcatraz. Yes, that's what you did with the greatest, one of the greatest wonders in America, Florida's Everglades, Florida's slice of Africa. People from Africa come to Florida to go on safari. That's how freaking incredible the state is in terms of its ecosystem. And look at what you've turned it into, you fruitcakes. Sorry. Oh my God. A prison in the middle of a safari. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Yeah, same wildlife you see in Africa, because a chunk of Africa, when it broke off, and that's why you have alligators and manatees from the African dugong and the crocodile. The land separated and they evolved. It's Africa. It's a miracle. It's a wonder. Ace of Swords. Cups. Stress. They want revenue. They also have contracts with private businesses. More slaves. More slaves. They want more slaves. Bring the slaves back to Florida. Yeehaw! For-profit prisons. We arrest Black people for nothing, and we give them trumped up charges, and then we work them as slaves. And it's because there's always been slavery and there's always going to be slavery. And so I want to own a couple of for-profit prisons and get my own slave group. Put it right there in Alligator Alcatraz, right? That's what this is. The people don't want it. There'll be protests. People don't want it. It's money. It's a done deal, man. We already sold to this company and that company. It's a for-profit. They want to make money. They're trying to. They want people of color back in prison, back in chains. We have to expose this. We have to expose. It's a for-profit. Oh, it's a type of evil that is so black and dark and black like in darkness, not in yeah. Somebody had said that it's like a black oozy tar of evil when you get into this mindset, and that's exactly what it feels like. It's just this evil tar that covers you, that is so demonic, always done in the name of God and Jesus and everything else, right? Crazy. Why do we live in such a sick world? Okay. Diva says that Biden is recovering at home. Thank God. Oh, he did? Thank God. Thank God. I hope he's okay. Yes. When they tried to tame the Irish, right? Tame those Irish when the British came in. They keep moving around. They're nomadic. They're gypsies, right? Those damn gypsies. Why were they nomadic? They were herdsmen, right? They had horses and animals, but why were they nomadic? Because the land did not support agriculture. Nothing would grow there. So they couldn't settle even if they had wanted to. So they had to move their animals based on grazing needs, right? Pastoral economy. So what the British do? We gotta contain them and put them on reservation, right? Get rid of these wrong accent. We've got to take control of those little people, right? So what happened was that the worker houses, right? You get a bowl of nettle soup and dry crusty bread, right? We'll give you potatoes. Well, what's the problem? The potato famine. So if you were wise, keep your nomadic lifestyle. When there's famine, you move. If you have a nomadic lifestyle, you can just move your animals to greener pastures. This is why we're nomadic. Oh, Cavoodle. Kelly Knoll has donated $17 to Harbin Dogs. Thank you, Kelly Knoll. Thank you, Kelly Knoll. We love you, Kelly Knoll. We appreciate you, Kelly Knoll, for donating $17 a month to help save Harbin Dogs. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, the Nazis hijacked socialism and developed National Socialist Workers' Party by feeding on the anger and frustrations of the poor. And that is, in fact, what we're seeing right now. People attempting to create racism, like some aspects of MAGA would be an example of that. So we also have racist on the left. But the point is that it's the hijacking of the socialist movement by fascists, and it's something we have to be aware of when we see it. We don't tolerate racism. Yeah. I had the munchies. Oh, I haven't had paracetamol. Tylenol and gripe water. Oh my God. Yeah, but if you can't sleep, then they give you liquid THC here, because not everybody can do opioids. Well, I don't think anyone. If you don't need to, don't do opioids. Rob blind. Yes, it's being robbed blind. Absolutely true. Oh, birthright citizen. Oh God, he's dreadful. Oh my God. Let's check out the birthright citizenship nightmare, where he's trying to take away the citizenship of Americans born in the United. What a fruitcake. State rights. You need to come in, states, and protect. We need to protect our people. Where did you go? Okay. Birthright. Birthright citizenship. They're arresting people, caging people like animals. By the way, they're in multiple violation. You can't overcrowd people like that. Sick. We are the opposition. We are grieving the hopes and fears for our fellow citizens, that we will be apathetic and that we will stop fighting, that we're not doing anything. The final outcome is 4 of Wands. We must build a movement. We must build a movement. Start at the local level. Yeah. Yeah, they've started exposing some of the slave networks on the islands where they're less policed. They just go to a private island and start doing their wheeling and dealing. It's bad. They also film sex tapes. So a bunch of slave traders come in. It's called the pit, and they sit in the pit. How about you take that child and that actor and let's do a scene? Okay, well, it's just a job. We produce sex tapes out here on this private island. And then all the wealthy guys from Saudi Arabia and all these other places come with their mega yachts. This was exposed also in Cayman. And I'll take that one as a concubine. That one, breed her. I want to breed that one. Yeah, it's like, why haven't we killed these people? Because they're rich. Big expose coming out about it in the next 6 months. That's going to tear the whole thing open, supposedly. I can't wait. It makes my blood boil. Anybody that it's evil personified. Here's the biggest creep of all, Steve Bannon. He's calling Israel a U.S. protectorate, and an old colonial term that implies that Israel should be completely under U.S. control. Well, we expect Israel to live by Western standards, not Middle East standards, right? So that's why we're harder on Israel than Yemen, right? Or other countries where there are horrible civil rights violations against their citizens, because the standards for Israel are, you're going to have to put yourself under European standards. Well, you're hard on us. You're not this hard on Saudi Arabia. You're not this hard on, or there are horrible civil rights. We're the only democratic country here, right? So there's this feeling of, why are you focusing on us? Because we expect more from you. I mean, Egypt, 80% of the women in Egypt have been desexed. Okay, you live in a country where the women don't have vaginas, all right? Why aren't we focusing on that? 80% of the women, and closer to 100% in places like Upper Egypt, circumcision and fibulation is performed. So I have a friend who became a citizen of the United States. He left Upper Egypt, and when his brother had a daughter, he said, don't do it. Don't do the circumcision and fibulation. And he did it. He hired the people they cut the outer labia, they shave the inner labia off, and then they snip the clitoris, and then they sew up what's left of the outer part of the labia, so it's a seam, and then they leave a little part open for menstruation and for urination. Sometimes they have to put a tube in there. And then when the women give birth, they often will get fistulas, because the baby will be pushed out through the bowels, or they will die in childbirth and have to have a cesarean. So there are horrible civil rights happening but they want to focus on Israel, right? Which is trying to deal with not getting killed by terrorists, right? So the double standard is the thing that many Israelis are offended by. Why aren't you focusing on Yemen? They're like starving kids to death. But I'm an Israeli, so my feeling is that I expect more from Israel also, as an Israeli. Steve Bannon's relationship with Israel, the star, lovers, and the final outcome is Steve Bannon will be hated. People will come out to fight against Steve Bannon. He has pissed off, I don't know what he did, but he pissed off his own people because I'm seeing them pissing him off. He likes to provoke people, and it will turn against him. It will turn against him. Yeah. I see Bannon being attacked by his own people. Yeah, you can get some people can be habitual, and there is a slight risk. The main thing is not the cannabinoid receptors. If you're looking at the research by Erickson, it's the mesolimbic dopamine system of the brain. The mesolimbic system of the brain, uh, mesolimbic dopamine system of the brain, and it's about dopamine reward. You can have withdrawal without true addiction. For example, you can have a withdrawal from coffee, but we don't see major changes in impacting dopamine levels. It does have an impact on adrenaline. And you can have withdrawal, but it's not the same portion of the brain. However, we are now seeing that cannabinoid receptors, we don't even know why human beings have cannabinoid receptors. But we do see that it can affect the mesolimbic dopamine system in the brain. And so why it is really difficult to become addicted is because it's not the same, it doesn't have the same binding as, say, an opioid. But yes, some people do get addicted. But it is much easier to get off of than, say, an opioid, which is why it's being used as a bridge drug by many clinics now. Rehab clinics are using it. So yes, it can be addictive, but it's not as difficult to get off of research in terms of the research. And it's been approved 300 and close to 350 separate medical conditions can be effectively treated. Nausea, chemotherapy, glaucoma, sleep, some people benefit from sleep. Some people have used it in therapy to help them look at their shadow. I did some good shadow work when I was on it. I didn't get addicted. I just quit. It served its purpose. And then when it was destructive, I said, you know what, this is not good for me. And I don't think I'll ever do marijuana again because I don't see a need. It served its purpose. It's time to move on. But yes, some people can get addicted. And that is why it's used now in clinics, is because it appears to be easier to get off than something like an opioid or something like fentanyl, which is much, much stronger than oxycodone and is highly addictive. All right, Rex, living a very monastic life in LA. Good for you. Yeah, living that life is good. Yes, we need community. Absolutely. Hello, Gal. Yes, that is what we are accusing him of with that. And I'm shocked that it hasn't been exposed sooner. Yes, there are genetics. For example, I have genetics which show that if I ever were to try it, I really would like opioids. I had my genetics done at 23andMe, and they said, "Oh, you have the genetics of somebody who is more likely to become an opioid addict." I thought, well, good. Then I won't ever try opioid. That's another reason why I was afraid to take it. Like, I'll just take some THC syrup, thank you. Yeah. Jeremy Rodney, I'm going to try and get Saving Harbin Dogs to be part of Google's nonprofit. Yes, please. If you can get it here on YouTube, I would really appreciate that. Suggest it to YouTube so that we can do a more thorough fundraiser. But if you have donated to Harbin Dogs today, be sure and let us know so that we can praise and thank you. I was arguing recently with a guy from China. Yes. Yeah, some traditions are not good traditions, right? Slavery was the tradition of the South, right? It's God's will, right? Every time a man wants to do something horrible, he just has to say, it's God's will that I take a sex slave, right? Sick puppies. Well, they're not part of my religion, so I have just some sick people out there. I don't know why we live in such a sick world. I may so that we can perfect it and make it better. I don't know. I just, it's just so evil. Carolyn did a donation, and she can't do a screen. All you have to do is say, "I made a donate." Oh, look at that little kitty cat. Oh, Caroline donated to Harbin dogs. We're just making up songs. We love Caroline. She is so awesome for donating to Harbin dogs. Yes, that was nice. We had a nice song from that. Joyce Beatrice, I petitioned Grassley. I get his newsletter. Oh, good. He's running again. What is he, 93, 94? That's ridiculous. Come on. His son is a state senator. Oh, my goodness. Grassley, 3 of Cups. He's got strong support. People that are very nostalgic about him. Son, he has an exposure coming over him. Yes, there's an investigation. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. They're all creeps. I'm seeing the law coming in and justice over a lot of these people. Thank you, everyone who has donated, says the beautiful Debbie Brady. Thank you, everyone. You are awesome. Oh, thank you, Phyllis Thoreau. Yeah. Oh. Oh, I don't know what that is. That might be some spamming. How will Trump attack Moscow? Well, right now we're softening it with these drones that we've supplied. But let's take a look. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about the fact that it's gotten to the point that we're talking about marching on Moscow, boots on the ground? Did you think that it would descend into this type of horror? Is anybody surprised that this happened? No. No way, no how. Computer was very adamant. Putin is the greatest threat to the world right now of any world leader. He's got nukes decaying everywhere. He's completely insane and probably on drugs. Trump attacking Moscow. 2 of Wands, partnership in the West. NATO, Western Alliance, 2 of Wands, facing the West, global, partnerships, trade. It's the trade. It's always about the trade. You better get our frickin' trade up and running again. That is the message here. The global partnerships. Come on. NATO. North American treaties, right? Our trade, 2 of Wands. The what looks to the West. There's Putin. Is Putin a Gemini? Or is he a Libra? I know he's an air sign. Taking the weapons of war away from our enemy. Final outcome, grief. Oh, he's just lost his freaking mind. Yes, the money is with NATO. Financial support is the main way that we will take him out. We are funding NATO, the Western Alliance. Yeah. Putin is finished. He'll be removed. If they have to kill him, they will, but the computer said do not kill him. Because if you kill him and Kamini, you create a martyr. And so instead, he just needs to retire. But he's so crazy. Many people have tried to assassinate him. He's definitely leaving. Yeah, financial aid. You can see Putin out, transferred. We hung him up. You know what happened here? What happened was that Trump thought that we could get to a deal. No, don't give up on this guy. Don't give up on this guy. But the hangman comes, so eventually we had to give up on this guy. Yeah. Oh, well, it's boots on the ground, possibly. They're coming around Moscow. Remember, they're going to loop. They're coming up this way, and then they're going to go around, and then they're going to do it, and then they're going to tighten and that's exactly what they're doing now. And they're using the drones to soften targets. Sure, he wants to have peace. Wouldn't you want to have peace if Washington D.C. was being bombed by a country because we were occupying it? So the White House and Treasury building, probably terrorist threats from sleeper cells, etc. Yes, the dichotomy of life. Khomeini tries to flee. Well, he's in a bunker and we know where he is. And Trump, don't kill him. Well, actually, Trump's got a point because computer wants him to be contained, right? Like when you look at the computer data, why did the computer say don't kill Khomeini? Why do you think the supercomputers say do not kill Khomeini? What's the problem if we kill Khomeini? Why is the U.S. State Department, it's not Trump, it's the U.S. State Department saying, don't kill him? What's the argument? What's the discussion? You make a martyr, and then you've got millions of Khomeinis. What happens if you arrest him like we did with Saddam Hussein? He just looks like a dirty old man in an orange jumpsuit, right? And so the myth is destroyed. And then you have a trial. So what did the Shah's son say? Surrender. You will receive a fair trial, which is more than what you gave, the people that you went to war with, right? So the desire here is to capture him and to try him, and that they want the people of Iran to hand him over to the West so that he can be tried. This is the best outcome because we have to think about the next 50 years. If we kill this guy, what will be the consequences? Whereas if we try him and the whole world hears about him writing a book that it's okay to rape a baby, it's okay to have sex slaves, you have to rape a virgin before you kill her so she doesn't go to heaven. His crimes against his own people must be exposed, and the best way to do that, the best way to take him out from martyrdom, is to put him on trial, and that's how you break his cult, and that is how you keep us from having more of these fruitcakes. It's like David Koresh, he died a martyr, right? And then there were a lot of people that wanted retaliation, like the Oklahoma bombings, right? For every action of aggression, there's a reaction of equal or greater force. So we don't want to act aggressively. We want to act justly. And what do you get when you have justice? For every action, equal or greater. So you have more justice. Diva says she's recommending moving out of the country rather than later. Oh, I travel all over the world, Diva. I don't know. I'm a free spirit. I think I'll be okay. Iran yes. And there are sleeper cells. Now, 135 people were arrested over the week from sleeper cells, according to the latest news. But they say they're looking at 700 people that are part of sleeper cells. They're already here. So that's the reason Yes, Hamas will get out of Gaza because they're being given safe passage for themselves and for Islamic Jihad. Um, Likud, a terrorist organization. Well, I don't know if I would call it a terrorist organization, but I'm certainly not a fan of Likud. I think after October 7th, it was inevitable that we were going to have to go to war. And I think given that it's been 45,000 dead, half of them are in urban warfare, with half of them being Hamas and Islamic Jihad fighters. Those numbers are better than any urban warfare. So the data shows that actually Israel was pretty compassionate, considering it was urban warfare and they were using people as human shields. You also have to realize we've lost 800 soldiers, I think, something like 800 soldiers, and 9,000 people have lost their homes to the Iran bombings, and over 1 million were displaced after October 7th because of Hezbollah bombing and were forced to live in hotels. Many children and people raped and killed on October 7th. And I think that a lot of people that are judging Israel simply haven't seen the film footage and they don't understand what happened. And I think when people get more educated, you have to also realize that the health ministry is run by Hamas and that everything they say has to be checked and double checked. Sometimes they publish pictures of kids dying in Syria and claim it's Israel. So everybody lies. Israel lies too. There are lies coming out of Israel that there are bloggers claiming there's no famine in Gaza, which is absolutely absurd. Of course there is. They're not bringing food in because the food gets stolen by Hamas. Everybody lies, and so you just have to constantly be doing data checks. And I'm an Israeli, and I do hold Netanyahu accountable for many ways that he destroyed our country. I have very strong feelings about it, but I also don't want to put up with anti-Semitism, disinformation, people attacking my country based on false allegations. And it's also a lot of people like Mamdani. And when I hear globalize the Intifada and kill the IDF, you're talking about destroying my country. And so, I've got issues with that. I don't want to even debate it with you because you'll never walk in my shoes. Walk in my shoes. Spend time in a bomb shelter in Israel with people crying. It's easy to judge from 11,000 miles away, but when you're the one who's getting bombed, when you're the one that hears Gaza being bombed, all of which I've filmed, by the way, it's just horrific. War is horrible. $60,000 people in oh God, just terrible. Yeah, it's just we live in a sick world. We live in a very sick world, and everybody's crap needs to be exposed. Hamas, Iran, Israel, Netanyahu, sure, but we also have to fact check. Yes, there's famine in Gaza. Yes, we stopped the aid because Hamas was stealing the food. There was plenty of food, but it was locked up. They were selling it on the black market. They were shooting this horrible film footage of them torturing children that were trying to steal the food back. They're a terrorist organization. Just looking at the massacre, I want to give a heads up. That don't go to this site if trigger warning about this website I'm about to show you. Trigger warning. If you need to look away, you can check out hamasmassacre.net to see some of the images of what was done. Because I think a lot of people that are protesting don't seem to understand, trigger warning, what we are dealing with here. The women were raped. They were tied up, and then they were raped, and then they were shot in the head. So here's just how the stacked bodies. So we had no choice, and the bombs were coming in. We had no choice. We had to go in, and it was urban. I tried multiple times to get the door to open from Egypt, but Egypt wouldn't let the civilians out. And so we kept begging, pleading, open the gates, let's get the civilians out. And there's, if it had happened in the United States, we look at what happened in Afghanistan, they would not have tried desperately. They wouldn't, also Hamas wouldn't let the civilians get out. They were shooting them when they were trying to go out to safe zones. Hamas and Islamic Jihad, it's a type of terror that most of you folks, because you're good people, can't even begin to comprehend that level of evil. The closest to it would be the American slavery movement in the South, which is still alive and well. It is a type of evil that is simply incomprehensible for normal people. I love Catholicism. I love Catholicism. I love the prayer. I love all, but it's got, it's a beautiful path that's been hijacked by creeps, right? But I love the Carmelite tradition. I love the writings of Teresa of Avalon. I enjoyed reading about her life. Yeah. I'm a nice Jewish girl, but I just think it's cool as heck. This idea that you're saying the rosary and praying for people. It's beautiful. Corruption is everywhere. They say the devil is behind the cross, right? The evolution of MAGA will be taught at the college level someday. No, I think that they're taking out state and civil suits. He wants to deport Democrats. What a wingnut. Oh, Deborah was at a pride parade and she said people are pumped. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Let's take our country back together. Oh my God, Steve Myers. Hi, Steve. Good to see you here. He says that ICE, they did a raid at Mercy. What a bunch of psychopaths. Oh, for the love of God. This is really what you're doing with my tax dollars? Get rid of the perverts. Get rid of the pedophiles. Anybody here have a problem with getting rid of all of the rich white pedophiles with money that are robbing us blind, and you're going after people sweeping floors in hospitals? That's what you're doing with my tax dollars? Horrible. Diva. Oh my goodness. Ooh, tell us what you really feel there, Diva 369. All right. No, I don't see. I think he's going to retire because it's his only way out. He has to retire. All right, my beloveds, it was a wonderful, extra long one. Thank you, everyone who has made donations, and let us know your names so that we can praise you. Saving Harbin Dogs. Here it is again, donations from PayPal. We need all hands on deck for this amazing charity. A couple bucks. Anything you can give to Saving Harbin Dogs. Remember, $17 a month, you can save a life of one of these dogs. These are dogs that were taken off the meat cart. Instead of being bought to be slaughtered and eaten, they were rescued by these amazing people. To find out more, you can check out their Facebook pages and think about joining. They've got 23,000 followers, but it would be great if everybody here followed them and got involved. It is, if you're not feeling loved, if you're feeling isolated, if you're feeling scared and afraid, and if you're feeling like you're all alone, the best thing to do is to save an animal's life. They never forget. They never forget. And love is love, as they say. And boy, these doggies are going to love you like you have never been loved before. So what a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. Saving Harbin dogs. Again, thank you so much, Jeremy, for enlightening us to this amazing program for saving the dogs that are currently part of that meat industry. You know what? I visited China, and the overwhelming majority of the Chinese I spoke to said that it was an old tradition and that they've never eaten dogs. You couldn't pay them to eat a dog, and that they themselves have rescued dogs. So the good news is there are other things to eat. China was starving. They were eating anything that moved, right? So that's not the case. Most people can afford rice, tofu in all over the world now because they've created food programs. So this type of animal abuse, it doesn't need to happen anymore in China. And thank God I can't believe that they were going to eat a freaking papillon. Oh my God. Yeah, they don't need to do this anymore. All right. Love and light to all of you. If you need to see me as a physician, oh, thank you, Shivani. You're very sweet. I do like to sing. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, you can find the information below through Booksy. Also, I am a doctor. I am a naturopathic doctor, and I make the herbal remedies for you, and I ship them to you. So when you pay to see me through a telemedicine appointment, you'll be given a treatment plan, an intake, and you will be getting your medicine. It's all included. And we can get you on the good road to health. I try to keep it the same price as a walk-in clinic, and I do supply your medicine as well. That's kind of how I do it. I just want naturopathic medicine to be affordable, and I think it's $265 for the intake, treatment plan, and also your medicine. Enough medicine for 3 months. I usually give you enough for 3 months. So your first 3 months of treatment are paid for. Then you get a free follow-up phone call through me and my assistant. And then we usually like to see you come back a couple months afterwards for a follow-up. Follow-ups are very inexpensive. I think they're like only $165. They're like very little. And we get you on the straight and narrow. There's a reason why I look so beautiful at 62. I practice what I preach. And even if you make 10 to 20, if you give up 10 to 20% of bad things, say you don't give up sugar, but you just cut it back 50%, just reduce it a little bit. And then you add positive things, 10, 20%. You've already shifted your health 40%, 10 to 20% less sugar, 10 to 20% more exercise. That's a shift of 40%. You have taken the burden off your body by 40%. So I don't want people to think that healing your life is some extreme measure that you can't keep up. No, eat the foods you love. Just make them healthier. If we can make them 10 to 20% healthier, eat 10 to 20%. The rule is always 80-20. Eat 20% less food. Improve the quality 20%. Exercise 20% more. That will change your life. Yeah. All right. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. We will see you next time. Arigato. Thank you. And chant for your happiness. Find a chant, the rosary or some other positive chant. Nam-myoho Renge Kyo is my chosen path. But chant and pray, it works. and bring yourself to the positive center. We are in this together. There are more good people in this world than bad people. All right, I love you all. Thank you again, and have a blessed, blessed weekend. I will be back at 5 p.m. teaching the mystical tarot to those of you who are at the elders and empaths level. It's going to be about an hour, hour and a half. I love this class. I'm very excited about it. And we're going to get down and dirty at 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I look forward to seeing you all there. All right, bye, loves.